So basically, I just wanted to talk about our body cam program. It's something that we just started last December. Uh, when I took over operations here, I was a big supporter of body cams. I think they're actually a wonderful tool for law enforcement in so many ways. I mean, they pretty much take the guesswork out of everything that we do. It'll help my department instill trust in the public's trust in us, because anything we do now is recorded on our body cams. Each officer has their own body cam. It's assigned to them. No one else can use it. So any video that is recorded on that body cam is that officer. And basically, we use them from anything from just talking to a citizen to making an arrest. And what's nice about the system we have is the Axon Body 3, which is the latest technology Axon has put out. And Axon's like an industry leader in body cams. They started out with the Taser, and the company's just grown into a huge global company. However, the body cams, though, it's incredible the amount of evidence we can collect with a body cam, which is it's one of many reasons why I think every law enforcement agency should invest in them. It can protect against frivolous lawsuits against the village or my department. It protects the public by anything our officers do or any interaction with the public. It's recorded, and if an officer does act in any way they're not supposed to, and a civilian or a citizen files a complaint, I, as a supervisor, can go back and watch that footage and see, if this really took place. And I know in the past, a lot of people were afraid to file complaints against officers because they felt like the officer was always going to be believed, and they weren't going to be. And this kind of, I would hope, would make the public realize that we do take their complaints seriously. And if an officer is misbehaving or has any misconduct, I want to know about it, and this is a way that the public can trust that if they come in with a complaint, it's going to be investigated. And if it really happened, action is going to be taken. But that's not the only use for the body cams. Body cams mostly are for collecting evidence. My officers, when they deal with somebody, a lot of times people will make incriminating statements before we're actually investigating a crime. And the body cam is a great tool to catch that. And once that catches that, it becomes evidence in a trial. And there's no better evidence than actually being able to watch somebody say something and then later on they claim they didn't say. But it's a great tool. The only issue we have with it is it's a very expensive tool. And Dennis can attest to that, because the United Way and the O'Connor Foundation helped us purchase these for my department. And I think, I don't have the exact figure, but I think for a 5-year plan, it came to around $54,000 for 8 body cams. Yeah, and as with most technology now, it's not the actual equipment that costs, it's the storage fees for all the video that we're recording. That's what's the big investment. But it's worth it.
Recordings for?
Excuse me?
How long do you keep the recordings for?
It depends on what's recorded. State law allows us to delete some things, and as well as we have to keep some things forever. If it's let's say a felony case, we would keep that video forever. If it's just a traffic stop where a warning was given, that would be deleted within 60 days. I like to keep them 60 days. That way, even though a ticket wasn't given, if the driver feels that they were wronged in some way, and they come and file a complaint, I could, even if it's a month later, I still have time to where I can review the footage and see if they're correct or not. And other things we keep for 90 days. just, it depends on the interaction and what the video has. And what's nice about the system too is we can tailor it for FOIL requests, which is a Freedom of Information law. So if one of our videos gets foiled, I can go in and blur out everybody but the officer in the video if I need be, if I feel like, that needs to be done, so that we don't have anyone's identity revealed that doesn't want to be revealed, or any kind of action like that. Or if it's a case involving a child, we can hide the child's identity, or if somebody's in the background that has nothing to do with the case, I can blur them out. The system, it's really nice. It's the sheriff's office of Delaware County has the Axon Body 2. They've had theirs for a few years now. We happened to get ours when Axon just come out with a new technology, so we have the next step up, which I'm sure once another good thing about the Axon Body 3, before I forget about it, is me being a supervisor, myself and my 2 sergeants have the ability to turn the camera on from anywhere. Like, say an officer is he's out on a traffic stop and he has his camera and he doesn't have it on. Me being a supervisor at the office, I can turn his camera on and watch what he's doing without him authorizing it. Like, he doesn't have to push anything. I can do it from a computer screen. So anytime, no matter where I am, I can check on my officers and see if they're okay. This is my main reason this is a good thing, is if sometimes our radios don't work, and if 911 is trying to contact one of my officers and they cannot get a hold of them, they will call me at home and ask if I know what's going on. And if I don't know what's going on, I can turn on his body cam to see exactly what's going on, if he's in need of help, or if something, if there's something wrong. And the other nice thing is the body cams have GPS. So I can see on a map of the village exactly where he is, so we can go to his location. So they're a great tool, and I believe in them. And one big reason I believe in them is I think it will go a long way to gain public trust in my office. And not that we don't have it, but anything that will ensure the public that we're doing everything we can to do our jobs to the best of our ability, I'm going to want a part of. So.
I have a question. Can
Sure.
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
This is Anna. How large are the cameras, and where are they worn, or are they in your hand?
I'm going to stand up and show you. I'm wearing mine right now, and I'm going to stand up and show you. Hopefully I can get it into the camera good enough so you can see it. But I wear mine. This is the camera right here. The whole thing. It's about the size of a pack of cigarettes. And this is the mounting system that I just happened to choose for my vest style. They have a bunch of different mounting systems. Some of them are magnets. This is a clip that you can put in a shirt pocket. They connect just like that. And when I want to turn the camera on, all I need, this circle right here is the on button. I press it twice and it turns the camera on, and then it will not shut off until I hold it down for 3 seconds. Now, what's nice about this too is if you turn it on and you forget about it, every minute or so it'll vibrate to let you know that it's still on. So that you're not recording when you don't want to record, you can shut it off.
How long is your can you record for?
Each officer can record up to 25 hours. Obviously the battery life's probably not going to last 25 hours. We're getting, during regular shifts, we're going 10 to 12 hour shifts, and we're still seeing like 30% battery life. So and the things are on that whole time, not recording, but they're on, ready to record the whole time, and recording GPS coordinates and stuff like that. But that's pretty good, because we tested we tested some other companies before we went with this one, and we couldn't even get half a shift out of their battery life, which was not good at all. So I don't know.
Eric, do you use them for when you give your officers evaluations?
Well, we don't. I don't. We could. Since we've had them less than 6 months now, me and my sergeants have talked about it. I don't know if we're going to use them that way. If we start getting a lot of personnel complaints, then we'll definitely start using them that way. But for right now, I don't see a need for that.
Do you get a lot of personnel complaints?
We do not. We do not. I mean, I can't remember the last time we got one, and the ones that we have gotten have always been the officer was rude, or that they thought the officer was being rude to them. When a lot of times, if somebody could step into our shoes, they would realize it's not really being rude. It's just they don't know who you are, they don't trust you, and they're going to treat you that way. You know.
Well, I mean, typically, when you have an interaction with a police officer, from the eyes of whoever is the offender or alleged offender, I mean, it's not a pleasant experience because
No.
it's just, that's just the nature of the beast.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too, like, you know, for the most part, and this goes for all officers in this country, we see people at the worst times in their lives, you know, and not only does it take a toll on them, it takes a toll on us as well, you know, and it's something that you have to go home and you just got to forget about, and then you start your day again, and then I wish, you know, I just hope that people can realize that sometimes officers have bad days just like everybody else, you know, and when they do have those bad days, hopefully they remain a professional the way they're supposed to. But, you know, we're human just like everyone else, and we have the same problems as everyone else, and we just ask for help with that.
Yeah. And, you know, from the Police Reform Committee that the Sidney Village has, we did a survey, and the police force in Sidney is pretty highly favorable. So we got some, you know, great feedback, and so, you know, it's not just Eric saying that, you know, you guys, you know, that you have a great force and everything. It's actually true, and that's how it's viewed by the public. So, you know, great job on that, Eric.
Yeah, I gotta say, I was very happy to see that. I was very proud of that. And I hope that's an extension of myself. You know, I hope that's you know, it probably isn't, but I hope that a little bit of my leadership is trickling down, and that's why. But yeah, that's the kind of police department I want. I don't want. How do I say this? We're here to serve the public, and I want the public to be able to come up to us. I don't want us to be unapproachable. I don't want, you know, I want us to be looked at as like, hey, you know, the guy's here to help me, not to arrest me, you know. And we're a small town. There's no reason for us to act like we're the U.S. military, because we're not, you know. So hopefully the public sees that in the way we do our job.
So the police reform committee that Larry would just mention, that was required by law, right? To form that committee.
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't call it a law, but it was an executive order. So we'll just say it was an order by Governor Cuomo that we had to do that, or he was going to yank all New York State funding for the Village of Sidney.
Do you think anything good came out of it?
I do. I think a lot, and as far as the Village of Sidney goes, I think a lot of good's coming out of it. Other jurisdictions, I don't know about that so much. But I know us, I think we did really well in coming up with a plan for the future of the department and how it serves the citizens of Sidney. One thing I think that it led to, which we probably would have got around to it at some point, but I think it really hastened it, was we came up with a good plan for people to file complaints against officers if they need to. That's something we really didn't have before. Before, they would, you know, somebody would just come in and tell a sergeant or the chief that they had a problem with an officer, and now we've kind of made it official where they can not entrust, 'cause some people, I think to trust my department, we have to put our trust in other departments for other people to look like, well, let me put it this way. If you had a problem with, let's say, an auto mechanic, are you going to feel good about going to that auto mechanic to express your concerns, or are you going to feel better about going to the Better Business Bureau to express your concerns? So my thing is like, how are people going to trust the Sidney Police Department if when they have a problem with us, they have to go to the Sidney Police Department to complain about it? So I wanted the village clerk or at least another village office to be involved with that, so that we can ensure the public can trust that if they have a problem, it's going to be taken care of. It's not going to be swept under the rug or something like that.
So Chief, it's Dave Reynolds. And yeah, I think you are doing a good job and approachable and all those good things. And I think another possibly valuable thing that the Police Reform Committee, and actually this was the residents of Sidney came up with, is about the need for more training. That's how I took it anyway, for mental health and also for de-escalation. I think I have that right, a high number.
Yeah.
That would be helpful.
Yep. Yeah, I believe you're right. And it's something that we do need to focus on, because we do handle a lot of that kind of an issue, as you're well aware of. My department, at least, gosh, I want to say, we probably average maybe 4 to 5 mental health complaints where we actually have to take someone to a crisis center. That's not counting all the other ones where we can just talk to the people and it settles the situation. So we do deal a lot with that. And it's something that we do need to not only update our training, but renew it on a yearly or biannually basis,
Agree.
Yep.
Find a connection between mental health issues and drug use?
I'm now no expert, but I see it. I mean, in my 17 years, I've seen the connection. I've seen kids go from 16-year-olds to, late 20s, where they looked like they were on the right path and then, experimented with the wrong drug. And now it's, they really need help, and some people are going to say, well, that's the drugs. But a lot of the times these drugs cause mental issues that need to be addressed, and they're not getting the help. And unfortunately, a lot of it gets thrown on the police departments, and we're not trained for that. And not only are we not trained for that, it's not our mission. That's not what we're intended to do.
Well, you are, as you mentioned, you're asked to do a lot of things. You have to wear many hats in order to survive out there.
That's one thing that, I look at it this way. You look at a fireman, they're asked to focus on putting out fires. You look at a lineman, they're asked to focus on making sure the electricity works. You look at a police officer, they're asked to focus on everything under the sun. They really are. They're asked that they have to be an expert on everything. And if they get anything wrong, it's, we get in a lot of trouble for it. and it's very stressful on the guys, on myself, because we walk into situations where we have no idea what's going to happen, and we're expected to make the right decision in the split second. And if we don't, it's Monday morning quarterbacked for the rest of their lives,
Yeah. We did talk about in the Police Reform Committee about community outreach, and I know Eric's going to be working on that. I mean, the unfortunate thing is that you're probably, and I know this is true, correct me if I'm wrong, you're under-resourced.
Yeah.
So it spreads you guys a little thin.
Yeah, yeah, that we are. I mean, if it wasn't for Dennis and the United Way and some other groups, there's a lot of things my department wouldn't have. And, and we do, and Sidney is actually in good shape compared to other departments,
Yeah.
But we work with the best, I'm sorry. We do the best with what we have. And we do have, for a police agency, we do have a lot, but we still have a lot more than we need. And with the community outreach programs, just like Larry, you helped me with the child fingerprint kit that we hopefully will be obtaining here soon. That's going to help us a lot. We'll go from being able to fingerprint 20 kids in like 10 minutes to where it would have taken us 3 hours, and because nobody uses ink anymore. We don't, here we haven't used ink fingerprints on a criminal in like 10 to 12 years. So it's really, we really needed to step up into the 21st century with our child fingerprint kit, which is what you helped me. Hopefully we're obtaining here pretty soon.
John Redente says he's making progress on that, and it should be a go. So
Good.
You'll start using it once we start opening up from COVID.
Yeah. Yep. And that's another thing too, that COVID really put up, because we always try to do a lot of things in the community, and COVID really put a damper on that. I mean, you can't do anything,
Nobody's doing anything.
Yeah. I mean, we always took part in all the festivals and the fly-in breakfast at the airport, the open houses at the fire department, and there's been none of that for a year now. And
are all your officers vaccinated?
all but 4 of them, and 2 of them have decided that they will get the Johnson & Johnson when it's available.
I see.
The other 2 are just they're
Right.
they're conspiracy theorists. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. No, I don't know if it's they're afraid of shots or they're afraid of the CIA. I don't know which one it is. No.
Eric, I was just going to say that you guys did a great job when we had the food giveaway 3 times. They came down from Albany. We gave out thousands and thousands of pounds of food, and you had the tough job of highway and people waiting in lines and keeping everybody happy. You did a great job at that, and I commend everybody who worked on that and 3 times. And that might come back this year, even though the pandemic might be getting over. I don't know about the hunger and those things, so it'll be time to see, because I know there's going to be money for the food banks and Albany and those places to get food, and it's no sense getting food if you can't give it out. So I know that Catholic Charities is talking about one maybe even as soon as April. So
Okay.
I don't know what's going to happen, but I commend you on that. And if John can't find all the money, United Way will for your fingerprint. So
that would be great. That would it's something I've wanted. This new fingerprint kit is something I've wanted for a long time before I took over.
Yeah, we have a request in, but I think there's some funding with internal within your department and also a grant. So, but if something holds you up, we love you guys.
Oh, we appreciate it, and I want to thank you for the food drive comments. That was, I got to tell you, I'm proud that we were able to do the job we did there, but it was rough.
It was rough, yes. I mean, that was above and beyond the call.
Oh boy, it was. Yeah, the first one was the roughest, I think, because that one, oh my.
Well, we had no idea what we were doing either.
Yeah, the second one,
we had no clue.
Yeah, the second one had a lot of people come.
Yeah.
But the third one went pretty well.
Yeah. So we actually got better on that. So
yeah.
There's one other thing that might be coming down the road to you. We've talked about it through United Way, maybe trying to have the police department, the EMS, and the fire department maybe try to form a explorer post where each of the three areas would have the kids maybe every third month or something like that. But it'd be kind of really good to let to have a scheduled thing where they could actually look into a police car or talk to a policeman. I know we've had one a long time ago in the past at the police department, but this would be something where we would share the idea around three different areas: EMS, fire, and police. So it wouldn't be all encompassing for you guys. But I think Ray Baker and maybe Dave Lighty, I'm not sure who might be approaching you, but I'm giving you a warning that they may approach you, but it may actually be sponsored by the United Way, not actually one of the three. So that would take out some of the administration part. But it's only in talk now. So I'm down here in Virginia. So so I made it down here to Virginia, no tickets or anything. So
good. Yeah, so it sounds like so it sounds like it would be more of like a public safety explorer post rather than a
exactly. Now we haven't even talked that much, but we were going. I think Ray Baker is coming out to kind of test the waters, because it would be Ray with the fire department. I think he talked to Charlie Washburn at the fire department, and you're the last one. So I just giving kind of a warning to no commitments, but it would be really, I think, helpful in the public's eye to see that whole program with fire, emergency, and police to working together. I think it's, I mean, I'm not saying if I was, so we can talk. If they if they don't talk to you and I'm back in 2 weeks, I'll come down and talk to you with Ray or somebody.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, it'd be, I think it's a good idea. I mean, I have no problems doing that with the fire department. I mean, I'm probably the worst when it comes to making jokes about the fire department, but they make jokes about us. So, but we all work together, it's
well, the real key would be, it would be a good opportunity for like, if it was done every split 3 ways, you would have an idea to showcase your part.
Oh yeah.
And maybe even doing something together. I don't know.
No.
There's a lot of possibilities.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'm also proud of too, is that Sidney has a good fire department.
Yes, they do.
We've had a great, for years we've had a great volunteer fire department, and
well, it's like everything. It's like everything. You need more people. I mean, you can do much more when you have more trained people. And whether it's fire, EMS, or police. So we're very fortunate that you guys are funded under the village, and I think they do a pretty good job with you guys.
Oh yeah, we're. I mean, we're like anything else. We're always going to want more, but we're funded pretty good, and and it's nice because you can't. Unfortunately, law enforcement is a very expensive business. It really is, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's just the nature of the beast, and if you want to.
And like today, you get a chance to toot your own horn, and I think I'm glad Rotary was able to give you that part, and this is being recorded. I think you knew that, right? Yeah.
I'm trying to be as professional as possible, but I just not. It's not me.
No. You're doing a great. You're doing a great job. But
I'm more
we
of
may share this down the road. We may share parts of it. We may edit parts of it and share it. To actually talk about what a great police department we have. I'm not sure what Corbin is thinking down the road, but that would be something good, because we have a few people here, but it's another way for us to share to a larger audience. Even our United Way board, that would be good if we could do something like that and play parts of this video where you're talking about what you're using our monies for, because it's not our money, it's the community's money that we're just helping get to the right places. Okay, I've talked enough. So
normally what I would do when we record our Zoom meetings for Rotary is I just upload the entire meeting to our Rotary YouTube page. But because of the program and I think how important it is for our community, I'm just going to take this part right from the beginning. Just take out Chief Oliver's part. That's going to be its own standalone video. That way people aren't going to have to sort through the rest of the hour of our meetings and try to find what they want. So this will be its own standalone video. I'll put it out on our YouTube channel, I'll put it out on our Facebook page, and then of course, United Way or anybody else wants that video, I can give you access to it too.
I think that's a good idea. Let Chief Oliver view it first.
No, well, I
It's not a body cam where you have to.
no, yeah, yeah. I think my problem is I'm just like a good old boy. I can't do the professional.
Not a bad thing.
You know,
It's just-
No.
no, you know, I'm not one of these guys that, you know, I've got 17 years on, and I just don't see. I've worked with a lot of guys, and I don't see the advantage of acting like you're here and everyone else is down here. You know what I mean? I would rather the way I'm talking to you is the way I talk to everyone. I don't care if they just robbed a bank or if they just, you know, mowed my grandmother's lawn. You know, everyone gets the same Eric, unless I'm angry, then they might get a little different one. But other than that, you know, this is me, and I can't help it.
Eric,
You don't want our police officers to be robots, right? You want
Well,
them to be people too, right? So
Yep, I
think that's
totally
good.
agree. And I tell you, you know, they teach you to be tactical, but there's a way you can be tactical and also be a human being at the same time, you know?
Absolutely. Dennis, you had something to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, and probably you're going to have more anecdotal stories on positive, like I'm just going to give you. Back a number of years ago, before you were police chief, I had fallen and hit my head, and the police, I don't know who called, but the ambulance and the police was called. The police department was there in a jiffy, and if something really was wrong, and they were very professional there. And I've always remembered that, and I've always felt that we should all give back to the police. So, and I think from United Way, we will always will. So, but that's an anecdotal story that, you know, when you're really in need, you just hope like a police car will come and or an ambulance or our fire truck. So,
Yeah,
you know, we should really support. And I think from United Way and from Rotary, it's not a bad idea for us to, as just civic organizations, to support you. And wherever we can, you know, just let us know. Also, by the way, Dave Reynolds, who's on this call, is also a United Way member too. So,
Yeah,
and so is Corbin. So is Corbin. I'm sorry. I'm gonna forget you.
so that's one thing you just commented on is my department does a lot of stuff that isn't necessarily criminal investigations. And one of those is I'm a big, we don't respond to all EMS calls, but I'm a big believer, and I tell my guys that if it's 1 o'clock in the morning and somebody calls because they need EMS, like they fell out of bed or they need this or they need that, I want you guys to go there. Even if you're not going to do anything, just go there and stay with the person until EMS gets there. I mean, chances are we're going to get there first, you know?
Chief, I've seen that happen so many times where, and again, you know, you guys get good praise and for things like that. Now, one thing I did want to ask you, and I've wanted to ask you for a while, is I believe you have AEDs in your—
We do.
Yeah. And what I've seen is on a CPR, like you said, sometimes you arrive before we do, and you go right in and start CPR with the AED. And I've seen it. And that's pretty good.
Yeah.
You don't wait for us.
No.
You go right in. That's pretty amazing. I like that.
That's something we train to do, and it's. I'm glad you said that, because you just reminded me that I have to renew everybody's CPR training here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But that was another thing that we would love to do, is update our AEDs. You know, because they were just, one of my guys was just talking about the new ones Sidney EMS has, where it does all the compressions, it does everything for you.
Okay, yeah,
And
that's
nice. That's awesome. That is nice. Because you know, if you haven't done CPR, You
Yeah.
have no idea how hard that really is to do on
Mhm.
somebody for more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That is rough, you
Yeah.
know, and you better be in shape, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's something that, and like I said, you know, I have 17 years in, and I've done CPR on quite a few people.
Yeah.
And it's something that we're trained to do it, and the guys, they don't hesitate. If they see someone, you know, usually the first thing they do is they'll check for breathing, pulse, and then right into the CPR if it's
Yeah.
needed.
That's pretty good.
So do we have anything else for Chief Oliver, or can we let him get back to work?
I'd just like to thank Chief Oliver for spending the time with us.
Yeah.
Oh, anytime. Anytime. I'm always available for anything anything that has to do with this village. You know, give me a call and I'll do whatever I can.
You are a
Great.
Sidney alumni, I know that, and
Yeah.
Ah,
you got a great down to earth persona. So keep up the good work.
Yeah. I think that was beat into me by my father. You know, he was just like, you know, you're never better than anybody else. There's always someone out there that's better than you. I'm like,
That's what fathers are for.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
yeah.
Yeah, my
That's what
son's
they
getting
do.
the same treatment right now.
Just tell him Sidney has ears. That's what I used to tell my kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they do too.
Yeah.
All right, well, on behalf of the Sydney Rotary Club, and I guess I could say the United Way too, since we have quite a few members from the United Way here. Thank you for doing this. If you ever need anything from us, or if we can help you in any way, let us know. And we'd be more than happy to do that for
You know, thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you for having me.
you. Have a good day.
Take care.
You too.